So we got to talk and break down what took place this morning. I released a video. Seems like there's lots of confusion, and I want to bring some more clarity, and I wanted to talk about it in this video. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. So let's get this video started. Right, this article was released this morning from the Wall Street Journal. It's behind a paywall, so I didn't get to read the article, but there's no need to really fully read it. It's self-explanatory, right? And I've said this in previous videos. You guys have heard me say this. Fiber is the priority now for the company. That's all this is really saying. The wireless market is too saturated. Each and every quarter, there's a new MVNO launching. There's a new mobile network operator that's getting ready to launch in Dish. So that'll be a fourth player, and they will likely be disruptive. So AT&T is simply pivoting. They are not saying that they're getting out of wireless. They will continue wireless. It's like 70+% of the revenue that they take in is from wireless. They will continue to do that, but they will not be as aggressive as they maybe once were on wireless. So you could forget that. So if there were plans to put a good amount of macros in your area, that has likely been pushed back. Very high possibility in favor of fiber. Fiber is the company's story that they're going to run with moving forward. I'm going to watch the stockholder event, and I'm quite positive that's what I'm going to hear. They're going to push the fiber narrative. The stock has been falling. There's no motivation in the stock. AT&T pays out a dividend. They have to find a bigger source of growth and revenue. Wireless is just not it. On the call that took place recently, there was an internal call that took place that made some of the level 1 and level 2 managers aware that there was going to be layoffs and that there was going to be relocations. During that call, AT&T said, whoever that person was, that they are getting crushed in the wireless space from a competition standpoint. So T-Mobile was right when they said that once they get that Sprint churn under control, that everyone else was going to struggle with growth. They said AT&T would go back to normalized rates, and they said Verizon would go back to normalized rates, and that they would continue being the leader in the industry. And that's exactly where it is heading. So what did AT&T do this go around? And I'll give the previous CEO credit, Randall Stevenson. He saw this way many years ago. He saw that this would transpire the way it is, but he just chose the wrong business to get into. He wanted to get into media. He wanted to buy up media assets and all this other stuff, and that's an even tougher business, in my opinion, to get to. If they would have pivoted with large investments back then into fiber, they would be way further along with fiber than they are now. So again, I'll clarify this again. They are not abandoning wireless. They're not going to get out of wireless. They're not closing up shop. But when it comes to leadership, mid-band push, density, C-RAN, millimeter wave, temper your expectations. They are not going to go big on that anymore. They're going to do the good enough, and that's going to be their strategy on that. Are there still going to be markets that they have high share in that they're going to have to invest in accordingly? Yes. There are still going to be markets where they have like 30, 40, 50% market share. So you will continue to see upgrades, C-band will be deployed. All of that will continue to happen. But we will not see AT&T come out and say, okay, guys, this is our strategy. We're gonna add 80,000 C-RAN, 10,000 new macros, 20,000 new indoor DAS systems. That's not going to happen. We're not going to see AT&T approach wireless in that manner anymore. They're pretty much, I'm not saying they're giving up, but they're conceding the race, if you will. They're saying, Verizon has beat us on mid-band deployment. They're well ahead. T-Mobile had a 2-year head start. Just go ahead. Here you go. Take that. And they are going to go big on wireless. They have on fiber. They have a high ARPU on wireline. As they continue expanding that footprint, I am positive internally they believe that revenue will go beyond the $6 billion. They will eventually make a lot of profit, and they can balance out the revenue percentage. Instead of it just being like 70% mainly wireless, they could break it down where it's like maybe, 50% wireless and the rest fiber at some point in the future, right? It's a possibility. I'm speculating, of course, but it seems like that's how aggressive they want to be on fiber. And if they continue investing, there's a number out there that it's like $42 billion. If they continue investing in that, AT&T will be the largest home broadband fiber provider that the country has ever seen. And that will likely go for the business sector as well. So that's where they feel comfortable. That's where they see a ton of upside. And that's where I think they can get the stock back up and engaged by going big on fiber. I'm positive they don't see that light at the end of the tunnel when they look at wireless, because they already have 200 million plus connections. They already have car connections. They already have the largest native network according to what they're claiming with FirstNet, and that money pot is going to run out. Those reimbursements from the government, that's going to eventually run out too. So it's going to be interesting to follow this, but I'm going to be tuned in. I'm going to give you guys updates. I'm going to give you guys my opinion. You guys have heard me for a long time now. AT&T is focused on fiber. Every time they're asked about wireless, they continue pivoting immediately. They talk about wireless for a little bit and then boom, fiber. They always find their way back to fiber in any conference, because that's what they want the lead product to be. And they will still grow wireless. Again, like I said, they will not abandon it, but they will no longer grow it at the rate that they were growing it at. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel for more. Like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See you in the next one. Peace.